Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Daniel, and I'm one of the 4-H extension agents here in Palm Beach County. In 4-H, we believe in hands-on learning, so I invite you and us all to use our hands to learn. Together, we're going to create a robotic hand using simple things that you can find at home. And if you don't have these things at home, they can be purchased at a local store for a pretty cheap price. So, let's get started. I mentioned that we're going to create a robotic hand, and we have a couple of materials to go through here. We have 5 straws, flexible straws, or flexi straws as I call them. Then you need a marker, you need a pair of scissors, a little toothpick, a ruler, a normal 12-inch ruler will work perfectly fine. Some string, and we'll go a little bit more into details of the string when we get to that part of our activity. And then, and this is probably, this is the thing you have to be the most careful with, you have a glue gun. And you have to be careful, because on the glue gun, this metal part right here gets very, very, very hot. So, let's get started. You start off with your template of your hand that you're going to use, right? So to save us some time, I already cut out the hand. Now, if you notice on the hand here, you have these little lines that go down into the palm between each finger. So I want you to use your scissors, and I want you to cut that line that goes into the palm. On every finger except the thumb. So you see how this little line is now cut? Now, this is where the activity actually begins. You're gonna take one straw, and you're gonna pick one finger, and you're gonna make sure that the flexible part is down on the straw, right? So you spread it out, you put it down on the flexible end, and then as you're looking at it, you see that there is some leftover straw, right? The straw is bigger than the hand, than that finger, right? So I want you to use your marker, and I want you to mark your straw just a little tiny bit smaller than the hand, right? So I'm going to put a mark right here. And I'm going to put a mark right here. So now you're going to use your scissors, and you're going to cut exactly where, now be careful when you cut, a straw might go flying somewhere, right? But you're going to cut, there you go. You're going to cut you're going to resize your straw. So, let me put that back here. Now, once you line up your straw, you're going to see that there are a couple lines on your paper, right? There's 1, 2, and 3 lines. I want you to please place a mark on the second line, going from the top down, and a mark on the third line, going from the top down, right? Now, what's really cool is that this straw is going to kind of serve like the skeleton of each finger, right? So, if you look at our own fingers, our bones are not right up on each other. There's a little bit of room between our bones where we have muscle and stuff like that, so we could do things like this with our fingers, right? So we could flex and bend our fingers. So, I'm going to need you to cut each section of your straw a little tiny bit smaller than when you put that line. So you can give your hand room. Oh, there you go. There is one to bend. There you go. All right, it goes flying. So when you put it all together, it should look very similar to this. And what you don't want is you don't want the you don't want the size of each portion of the straw to fit exactly, to fit the whole space that you have for between each line, right? So like I said before, you're gonna go through and you're gonna trim the top two pieces a little tiny bit, so there's some room for them to bend when they're all together. Okay. So once you have that, it should look, let me see if I can get it to stay so you all can see it. Once you cut it, it should look like this. Alright, well, it's not staying perfectly, but when we put the glue, it'll work. So now, this is where you have to be very careful with your glue gun, okay? You're going to put a bead of hot glue You're gonna put 3 different beads of hot glue, one for each little section of the straw, right? So here, I just put it on the bottom section. Now, I'm going to put it on for the middle section. And then last but not least, I'm gonna put a little tiny bit for the top section. So this is how it should look. This is how each finger should look, right? So now I'm going to take some time and I'm going to do the same for the remaining 4 fingers. Okay. So we have finished doing the, now be careful because the glue, right after you do it, the glue is hot. So we have finished off the kind of the bones behind our fingers, right? So what is next is you have to put some string on your hand. Now, the way this works, it doesn't matter what string it is, as long as it could withstand, you know, a good tug. And you need about 24 inches of string, right? That'll give you enough to really have a robotic hand. So, how do you know how much is 24 inches? Well, the average ruler you have is 12 inches, right? So, 2 of these rulers is 24 inches. So, you take the end of one string per finger and you put it through all the straws, well, through all of one finger's straw, which is you cut. So right now I just placed the string through the blue finger. Then you fish it out the top and you make sure that the top is long enough to reach the bottom of the paw. So you make sure that the top of the string is long enough to reach the bottom of the palm. Then you're going to use your hot glue gun again carefully, and you're going to place 2 beads of glue. So you're going to put one on the top and another one in the bottom. And you're going to very carefully, because remember the glue is hot, you're going to place the string on the glue. And now this is when a toothpick could come real handy, because you just could press and make sure that the string is properly attached to the glue. There you go. So, and as you can see, I need to place a little bit more glue on the top. Now, you're going to redo the same with the other 4 fingers. So for this one, I'm going to try to put the glue on top first, which I might have some trouble with. Oh, there we go, we did it. Then I'll put the glue on the bottom. And this glue is just to keep the string secure for our final step. Let's use this. Okay. Sometimes you might have to give the string a little bit more help to get through all the pieces of the straw. All right. So we have 3 fingers down. We have 2 more to go, which are these 2 of the hand. Now, let's kind of straighten what we have so far so it looks nice and good. So if you have too much string during this part, like after when you glue it and you realize I have way too much string, you could always cut it. It's not that big. It's no need to fret about that. All right, and we are down to, actually, I have a little bit too much string, so I'm just gonna cut the little bottom of that. Ooh. Perfect. Now we are down to our final finger, our thumb. So, it's getting stuck at the very top now. Perfect. So we are about to glue our final string to the back of our finger, our thumb, the thumb of our template. All right. So, and if you see that you have too much string at the top, it's no problem because you just pull from the long string and it'll come back down. So, you just completed the robot hand. Now it's time to test it out. So, there you go. So, as you pull on each string, it moves that finger. And now you have your very own robotic hand. So this STEM activity was found in 4-H Inspire Kids to Do activity guide. I really enjoyed being able to do this with all of you, and I can't wait to see you guys in person soon. You all have a great day.